Kingston is the only capital city in the world where a hidden fault line, a drowned city, and a living volcano all sit in the same tiny region, quiet, watching, waiting. Did you know there's an entire sunken pirate metropolis still sitting under Kingston's waters, frozen in time since 1692? And here's the twist. Kingston is one of the few capitals dangerously close to a sleeping mountain that scientists say isn't fully asleep at all. So get ready because we're about to hit you with 30 wild facts about Kingston, Jamaica. Fact 30. This harbor shouldn't exist, but it's hiding in underwater Pompeii. Kingston Harbor is the 7th largest natural harbor in the world. But here's the twist. It's built on a graveyard. In 1692, an earthquake swallowed the pirate city of Port Royal whole. 2/3 of the wickedest city on earth sank beneath these waves. Today, you can still dive down and see buildings, streets, and even a pocket watch stopped at the exact moment of destruction. Fact 29. There's a building that will literally make you lose your mind. At Port Royal's Fort Charles, the Giddy House stands tilted at an impossible angle. Built as a munitions storehouse, the 1907 earthquake twisted it into a mind-bending funhouse. Walk inside and your brain short-circuits. People stumble, fall, and some even vomit from the disorientation. It's not just tilted, it's a weaponized optical illusion. Fact 28. The ground beneath Kingston is alive, and it's angry. Kingston sits on a ticking time bomb. The Enriquillo Plantain Garden fault system runs directly beneath the city. Scientists recently discovered hidden faults just 5 kilometers from downtown that could trigger a magnitude 6.9 earthquake. The ground is literally pulling apart at 6 millimeters per year. Every building, every street, every life hangs on geological threads. Fact 27. This city was born from pure catastrophe. Kingston shouldn't exist. It was founded in 1692 as a refugee camp. Survivors of the Port Royal earthquake crossed the harbor in small boats, carrying what little they could save. They pitched tents on the Liguania Plain, thinking it was temporary. 3 centuries later, those tents became Jamaica's capital. The city is literally a monument to survival. Fact 26. The Blue Mountains aren't just mountains. They're a geological weapon. The Blue Mountains aren't volcanoes. They're something far stranger. These peaks were created by a right lateral bend in the fault system, forcing the Earth upward at 1 to 2 millimeters per year. They're still growing. The highest point, Blue Mountain Peak, rises 7,402 feet and creates its own weather system. Kingston exists in the rain shadow. The mountains steal the rain before it reaches the city. Fact 25. There's a river that flows backwards, and nobody knows why. The Hope River defies logic. During the dry season, sections of it flow upstream. Geologists think it's caused by underground pressure from the fault system, but they can't prove it. The river that supplies Kingston's water has been flowing backwards for centuries. It's like the Earth is breathing through the waterways. Fact 24. Kingston has its own Bermuda Triangle. Ships vanish in Kingston Harbor. Not many, but enough to be terrifying. The combination of shallow reefs, sudden storms, and magnetic anomalies from the fault system creates perfect traps. In 1951, Hurricane Charlie destroyed what was left of Old Port Royal, but some ships disappeared before the storm arrived. The harbor takes what it wants. Fact 23. The city has a heartbeat, and you can feel it. Kingston experiences micro-earthquakes daily. Most are too small to feel, but they register on seismographs. The city is constantly vibrating, a low-frequency hum that some residents claim they can sense. It's like living on a sleeping giant that occasionally stirs. The ground never truly sleeps here. Fact 22. There's a mountain that moves like a living creature. Long Mountain isn't just a mountain. It's a fault block. The entire massif shifts slightly with each earthquake cycle. GPS measurements show it moves millimeters every year. From a distance, it looks solid and permanent. Up close, it's crawling across the landscape like a geological caterpillar. Fact 21.
The harbor floor is cracked like a broken mirror. Marine surveys reveal Kingston Harbor is fractured by 3 major fault lines. The seafloor shows clear evidence of recent movement, sediment layers twisted and broken. These underwater scars tell the story of hidden earthquakes. The harbor isn't just deep water, it's a geological battlefield where tectonic forces clash.
Fact 20. Kingston has secret underground rivers. Beneath the city flows a network of underground streams and rivers. The Liguanea alluvium acts like a giant sponge, hiding waterways that surface during heavy rains. Some buildings have basement flooding issues because they were built over these hidden rivers. The city has veins of water running through its foundations. Fact 19. The temperature can swing 25 degrees in one day. Kingston's climate is bipolar. The city holds Jamaica's temperature records, a high of 38.8 degrees Celsius and a low of 13.4 degrees Celsius. The Blue Mountains create microclimates. You can drive from tropical heat to cool mountain air in 30 minutes. It's like having multiple seasons in one city. Fact 18. There's a plant that only grows here, and it shouldn't exist. The Blue Mountain coffee plant evolved in isolation. These plants shouldn't survive at this altitude, but they've adapted to the unique soil formed from volcanic ash and limestone. The combination of altitude, rainfall, and soil creates flavors impossible to replicate. It's a botanical miracle that happens nowhere else on Earth. Fact 17. Kingston was almost wiped out by a hurricane that never hit land. In 1951, Hurricane Charlie passed 50 miles south of Kingston, but still destroyed 50% of the city. The storm surge, combined with high tide, created waves that reached downtown streets. Port Royal, already earthquake damaged, was finally finished off by wind and water. Nature used 2 different weapons to destroy one city. Fact 16. The city has a gravity anomaly that confuses instruments. Surveyors discovered that gravity readings are slightly off throughout Kingston. The combination of underground fault structures and mineral deposits creates gravitational inconsistencies. Compasses don't work properly in some areas. It's like the city exists in a slight dimensional warp. Fact 15. There's a beach that sings. The sand at Hellshire Beach makes noise when you walk on it. The quartz crystals in the sand create a squeaking sound under pressure. Local legends say it's the voices of drowned pirates. Scientists call it singing sand, a rare phenomenon caused by perfect grain size and mineral content. Fact 14. Kingston has its own version of the Northern Lights. During certain atmospheric conditions, the sky above Kingston glows with bioluminescent plankton blown inland from the harbor. The effect creates ghostly blue and green lights dancing in the sky. It's not the aurora borealis, but it's equally magical. The city has its own light show. Fact 13. There's a tree that grows from solid rock. In the Blue Mountains, ancient guango trees grow directly from limestone cliffs. Their roots dissolve the rock to extract nutrients, creating caves in the process. These trees are literally eating the mountains. Some root systems are older than human civilization. Fact 12. The harbor has underwater whirlpools. Tidal currents in Kingston Harbor create underwater vortices that can trap small boats. These whirlpools form where fault lines meet the seafloor, creating perfect storm conditions. Divers report being pulled sideways by invisible forces. The harbor has liquid tornadoes. Fact 11. Kingston's buildings are limited by an ancient curse. After the 1907 earthquake, the city instituted a height limit of 60 feet. Buildings couldn't exceed 3 stories. This wasn't just safety, it was superstition. People believed tall buildings angered the earthquake gods. Even today, downtown Kingston has a low profile compared to other capitals. Fact 10. There's a radio station that started in a hurricane. Radio Jamaica began broadcasting during a storm in 1940. The first signal went out as winds knocked down power lines. The station became the voice of survival during disasters. Today, it's still the first thing people turn to when earthquakes hit. Kingston talks to itself through radio waves. Fact 9. The city has a magnetic personality. Literally, Kingston's harbor contains unusually high amounts of magnetite, a naturally magnetic iron ore. These minerals were pushed up by ancient volcanic activity and later settled across the seabed like invisible metal dust. Ships entering the harbor often watch their compasses swing slightly off-center, forcing captains to recalibrate navigation tools before docking. Some sailors even believed the harbor was haunted because their direction needles would suddenly drift. But the truth is far cooler. Kingston doesn't just welcome you, it literally pulls you in. Fact 8. There's a waterfall that flows upward. Deep in the Blue Mountains, nature breaks its own rules. When strong mountain winds collide with narrow cliff channels, they create massive updrafts, powerful enough to push falling water back upward. On special days, small waterfalls appear to reverse direction, floating like liquid smoke. Travelers stand there watching water climb into the sky, as if gravity took a coffee break. It's one of Jamaica's most surreal natural tricks, a reverse waterfall that looks like nature hit the rewind button. Fact 7. Kingston has underground cities. Under Kingston lies a secret world carved from limestone. Thousands of years of water erosion created huge cave networks, some so massive that early explorers joked entire towns could fit underground. These caves flood during heavy rains and hurricanes, forming temporary underground rivers that roar beneath the city. Locals say Kingston lives on 2 levels, the streets you can see and the buried world you'll never fully explore. A city sitting on top of shadows. Fact 6. The harbor changes color with the seasons. Kingston Harbor isn't just beautiful, it's alive. Throughout the year, the water shifts from deep navy blue to shimmering turquoise to emerald green. Scientists discovered it isn't just algae or sunlight, fault line activity shakes up mineral deposits beneath the seafloor. Like an artist mixing new paint, the earth sends different minerals upward, tinting the water. Every season, the harbor repaints itself, a living canvas, changing with the heartbeat of the island. Fact 5. There's a mountain that makes its own weather. The Blue Mountains rise so sharply from the sea that they create their own microclimate. Warm air from the harbor rushes upward, hits the steep mountain walls, cools instantly, and forms clouds out of nowhere. It can be sunny in Kingston and raining like a monsoon just 10 minutes away in the mountains. These peaks are like floating weather factories, generating storms independent of the rest of Jamaica. A mountain range so powerful it bends the sky. Fact 4. Kingston has earthquakes that nobody feels. Kingston sits on a restless fault system that produces dozens of microquakes every day. They're tiny, too small for people to feel, but crucial. These mini vibrations act like pressure release valves, preventing massive earthquakes from building up explosive energy. The ground beneath Kingston is constantly adjusting, constantly shifting, constantly alive. A city that survives because the earth trembles quietly. Fact 3. There's a beach that disappears and reappears. Palisados is one of Jamaica's strangest landforms, a long, thin strip of sand connecting Kingston to the ocean. But this strip isn't permanent. Storms, tides, and shifting currents can erase entire sections overnight, only for the sand to return a week later. It's as if the beach has a memory, vanishing, rebuilding, reshaping itself. Palisados isn't land, it's a living, moving creature made of sand. Fact 2. The city has a heartbeat you can hear. On still nights, no cars, no horns, no city noise, some residents report hearing a long, low rumble coming from the Blue Mountains. Not thunder, not machinery, but the faint hum of infrasonic waves created by the island's shifting geology. These deep vibrations sit below human hearing, but some people can detect them as a distant pulse. Kingston isn't silent, the earth itself whispers. Fact 1. Kingston is the only city built on a geological weapon. Every major feature of Kingston, its harbor, its mountains, its rivers, its valleys, was created by the same violent tectonic system that threatens to destroy it. The fault line that shaped Kingston also shattered Port Royal in 1692. The same forces that protect the harbor could unleash chaos again. Kingston is a paradox, born from destruction, surviving through danger, thriving on the edge of nature's blade.
A city that shouldn't exist but refuses to disappear. Kingston, Jamaica, where pirates sleep beneath the waves, where mountains breathe, where beaches walk, and where the earth itself never stops moving.